Hey, we're Oceans at Alaska and welcome to Story Time.
So one thing about me personally that you may not know is that I'm really into my extreme sports. My main sport is I'm a rock climber. I do a lot of bouldering and a lot of sport climbing. But I also do things like slacklining and skateboarding. It keeps the doctor away and blood pumping.
He does a mad AA V10 crimp hold.
8A is not V10.
He gets so
8A is V11.
He gets so much beta.
Is that just a hold? Jibs just tries to like listen to the words that I use when I'm with my climbing friends and tries to repeat them back in a random order. Which is pretty much how he constructs most of his sentences anyway.
One thing that you didn't know about me is that I'm a writer and actor. I've been obsessed with TV and film all my life, and this year I've started writing my first film, and I also starred as an extra in a film with John C. Reilly, who is the guy from Step Brothers.
Quality film.
I've seen that film actually.
Chris has also seen that film.
Okay, something that you might not know about Mike, he is a sick beatboxer.
I mean, it's not something that I actively do for a profession, but it's a hobby. You may have seen the music video for 432 Blaze It, which we'll get in there.
See Special K live in the mix. Stop laughing, Chris. Got a few bars, gonna show some tricks. Yeah.
That entire backing track is made of Mike's voice, apart from the horn noise, which is just
Someday we might do it live, but someday we might not do it live. But
You've
just
got to keep you on your toes.
yeah, exactly. Just keep watching this space.
Alright, so another thing you might not know about Oceans at Alaska is Jake has actually been a long-term friend of the band. He's actually been out on tour with us a few times before even joining as lighting technician and also merch guy.
you got the ultimate promotion.
Yeah, I got a big old promotion.
The thing is, like, a few people have actually wondered if we like auditioned him in and if he was a random or whatever, but I mean, me and Jake have been like pretty much best friends for 7-8 years.
You went to college together, didn't you?
Yeah. We got in all sorts of sticky situations.
Yeah, man.
A lot of people actually ask us kind of what inspires our music and what bands we listen to, and it's actually quite an interesting point, which is why it is being brought to attention in this interesting things you may not know about Oceans 8 Alaska video, part 1, season 1, episode 1, prequel.
Pilot.
This is the pilot. But we actually don't listen to that much metalcore. We actually don't really listen to that much metal. I listen to a lot of jazz. I listen to a lot of, like, Bill Stewart's solo album is just beautiful. And so to answer the question that wasn't asked, yeah, we don't listen to that much metal. We listen to other stuff. But that's what gives us our unique blend.
Makes us different, doesn't it, Jibs?
Yeah.
Lots of different genres.
I'm gonna stay together. So, another thing that you didn't know about us is where the Oceans 8 Alaska name came from. So, in the 1950s, there was a giant tsunami that hit Lituya Bay in Alaska. Basically, completely swallowed the whole Gulf. It was pretty crazy. I think, how big was it again? What was they compare it to?
Compared to the Eiffel Tower,
It was
Twice.
approximately
Twice the
2 Eiffel Towers high.
Yeah.
Which, if you can imagine being on a bodyboard, like a boogie board, and you're fourth keying out, you know, like the whole event itself is just madness, which is kind of why we see it relevant to our music. I mean, our music is quite crazy, but there's also the whole calm before the storm and whatnot, so we do feel it very relevant to ourselves. Something else you might not know about us is is the fact that not everything production-wise is done outside of the band. I actually have a home studio where I'm running Pro Tools, and I do a lot of the engineering production for most of our stuff actually. For our upcoming album, Hikari, which is out July 28th, I actually did a vast amount of the engineering before me and Jake flew out to Detroit, where we did the drums and vocals with Nick Sampson. And then, Nick Sampson ended up producing and mastering it with a little bit of my production dropped in there, sort of thing. It was a complete collaborative effort.
And that brings us on to our last point. As Chris says, our new album Hikari comes out on the 28th of July. Hikari is actually the Japanese word for light.
Yeah, I guess that really represents where we were as a band at that point when we were writing, especially with the album artwork as well. Got a nice little lotus flower growing there. And it really represents that lotus flowers can grow from a really kind of muddy and dirty area, but it comes out
dark
as like
place. A dark place.
Yeah,
a dark place if
the
you want
light
to put
coming
it in
from the
that
dark.
way. But obviously, a lotus flower is quite a beautiful flower. It really represents the album as a whole, to be honest.
Well, it doesn't just represent the album, it represents the band, where the band is right now mentally. We're all very happy right now, and this is definitely a milestone for the band, and we're all very proud of it. And definitely relevant to the album art as well. Lotus flowers are very pure, they're very beautiful, they're very clean, but they can only grow from disgusting mud and clay and horrible stuff. And that kind of really represents where we're at right now. No matter what cards you dealt, you can always kind of pull through.